is Not Sam Wrestling.
Introducing your host from New York, here is Sam Roberts.
Here we are. It's the launch of 2K20, and the SmackDown Women's Champion. What is this, 10 times?
Yeah, who's counting?
Who's counting at this point? Who's counting? Charlotte is here. Charlotte, what's the haps?
I'm like, when I lose this, am I really saying Charlotte 11 reigns?
Yeah.
Does that even make sense? I know.
I just feel like you're kind of permanent women's champion, whether you, like, sometimes the title won't be on you, sometimes it will, but you're kind of just there, right?
I'm just there. I feel like I'm just a permanent staple. Yeah. I'm here. Here we go.
At any moment. What are we in a pinch?
Moment.
Let's put the title back on Charlotte.
Or let's take it off for the next day, too.
Yeah, let's take it off. Yeah. We got to have something happen.
For 30 seconds. I don't know.
That could happen too. Yeah, nobody brings that up. They're like, the most decorated. Yeah, but I lost it.
I think about it. Like,
you're following your reigns going like, I don't know that this makes sense.
I'm like, then I just tell myself, a number is a number. Number is a number.
That's it.
Just.
And you know what? You're blessed, too, to have your dad, who is one of, if not the most decorated professional wrestlers of all time, on everybody's Mount Rushmore, and his win-loss record, not great. He lost a lot of matches.
No, and it's funny because, to me, the big picture is it's not how you win it, it's how you lose it. That, to me, is what defines a champion. Mm-hmm. But with the win-loss record, I almost feel like I'm turning into him because it's like, well, I've only won 10 times. If you really think about it, I've only won 10 times. He'll go, honey, I only won 16 times. Yeah. I'm like, oh, well, I have morphed into you, Dad.
It really is weird. Yeah. What happens when they go like, Charlotte is so good, she can lose every match and still win the title. Let's have her lose every match.
Well, actually, don't jinx me because
okay.
I've won 2 matches now on TV back-to-back in the last year. Fox, the last 2?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
I'm keeping those very close to my heart.
It's so funny because I don't think anybody gets that perspective. Everybody watching is like, Charlotte is like John Cena of women. She just always wins, and you're sitting there going like,
it kills me. No, it really does because it's taken a very long time not to let the opinions of others affect me. But after the last year, and it's like, oh, she's Roman, she's Cena, I'm like, I haven't won a match in a year. I'm just always here.
Yeah.
Like.
Sometimes I just disappear.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, I don't know if it's almost like a compliment because I carry myself like a star, so they automatically think, or because I'm always somewhat intertwined, maybe that's why, but it's like, nope, no, please pull up my record.
I actually promise you.
Please.
If you look at, statistically speaking, I'm quite bad.
Yes. Thank you. Hey, I mean, even as a babyface, I lose as a baby.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
But nobody knows. Nobody ever realizes it, which is good.
No, I think that's,
It doesn't matter if you win or lose. It matters if people think you win or lose.
But I think that's the pressure that I put on myself because it's like, if you can somewhat maintain that status regardless of records.
Right.
It's like, for instance, I think to myself, man, they just had me try to turn babyface 2 or 3 weeks ago when I had been in the storyline with Bayley, legitimately as the heel.
Right.
Like, there's no black and white area.
Ifs, ands, or buts.
So I'm like, how am I supposed to do this? And then I go, well, I went into WrestleMania just being inserted as the chosen one. Mm-hmm. So if I can walk out however many months later and still somewhat get a cheer, it's like, okay.
It takes a lot of skill.
I'm doing something right, whether it's not the whole audience. And then there is a much different feel, I think, for me when I go to live events versus TV. I don't know if it's people want their opinions on TV versus like live events, I'm full-blown baby because I don't know if it's like, oh, I've gotten to that, oh, it's Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
But it's still, you have to keep that edge and constantly think about it or you never know, like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, because you're also like, I don't think people realize that you're in your own world here. You don't get to watch yourself from the outside.
No.
You just know what it feels like in your own head.
And another thing is, it's like, okay, they move me back to baby. It's like, okay, I can't be the face that was needed versus Bex in that rivalry, because I still go back and was like, well, if I still had that attitude, but it was just like, no, I am a good guy, and you were gonna cheer me. And now
that started right when a year ago when Becky Lynch turns heel on you, and everybody cheers Becky Lynch. Are you sitting there going like, what? What this wasn't?
No, I was like, stay true to the story.
Yeah.
Don't let the fans or the audience dictate your performance. So I'm like, no, I am the good guy.
She jumped me.
She jumped. Like, I mean, I did everything in my power to take away that edge, but it's like, was that a detriment? Was it not? And then now it's like, okay, now I'm back on that fence, and it's like, yeah, no, I'm not changing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no.
But you know what?
I might be on that side, but there's no, like, now it takes to that certain level of confidence, like, either you like me or you don't, and I don't care.
Yes. And it brought you to a main event at WrestleMania. You got to enter in a helicopter. You know what I mean?
My first time in a helicopter.
Yeah, I've always thought helicopters were terrifying. When you're
what I think is more ridiculous is I've done a couple of interviews, and they go, what was it like asking Vince that you wanted to show up in a helicopter?
just assume that, like...
Yes. I knocked on Vince's door, and I said, Vince, I want a helicopter. Okay.
Yeah. Do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am?
I need a helicopter to that stadium.
Charge it to the game. No, it was really cool. It was like, I didn't know how they were going to top the throne.
Yes.
So I was like, what are they going to do? And then literally a week before they said, this is what we're doing. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Like,
but it wasn't, you don't have like a thing about heights, like you weren't scared up in the helicopter? No. I'd be terrified.
No heights. Scared.
But it did. So it brings you to a main event at WrestleMania. It brings you back to the SmackDown Women's Championship. Now everybody's talking about this draft, and the word on the street is like, and nobody knows, obviously. Yeah. They just say things. But Fox is very high on Charlotte Flair, and they want Charlotte on SmackDown. Is there anything, like with this draft coming up, especially because Fox is clearly super invested in SmackDown, where USA is super invested in Raw, does that factor into the way you think about what kind of show you end up on at all? Like, do you?
So literally for the last year, I have been doing all of the Fox upfronts, like by myself, sending a female to do, talking about the company to advertisers, to media outlets, what we have to offer. So I also feel a close connection with Fox in terms of the athleticism and sports aspect. So for me, do I feel like it's a perfect fit? Yes. Do I want to go to Fox? Yes. I don't know what's going to happen, though.
You have a championship title that's already blue.
Yes.
Let's not complicate it.
Let's not complicate it. Right. Keep me on Fox. Keep me on SmackDown. To me, it's a perfect fit. Like, I feel like I fit their brand.
Right.
Not that I don't fit USA's, but I feel like a good rapport now with the executives because I've had to, understand their product and what they're offering and what we're doing for. It's just so. But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean that I'm going to stay on Fox. It just means that I was really good at public speaking.
They need a public speaker right then. Yeah. So you're in 2K20.
Yeah.
I haven't seen your rating yet, but I'm assuming it's very, very high.
I just was told.
What's the rating?
87.
Okay, well, Gallows and Anderson are super upset that they're like 81. They're pretty bad.
I'm like, my dad's still way higher than me, and he's not even active. So it's okay.
Yeah, I guess realistically, in 2019, if Ric Flair is in a match, is he winning? Probably not.
He had a 90 rating. It's cool.
That's a solid 3 above you.
But
that's a lot.
That sounds
that's
way
a lot.
Worse than like, yeah.
It's a lot.
I'd rather be 60 and him 90. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just seems like,
Yeah. It's like,
cool.
You're good, but not quite there.
Yeah.
You're not quite there. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for Fox.
Yeah.
You know, I love the journey you want. Have you ever done? Okay, so everybody, when you do your moonsaults, right? I'm sure. I don't know if you read Twitter or not, but I'm sure that you have read feedback on it, and people get so worried about everything involved just because it looks so scary, right? Is it as scary as people think that it looks?
Okay, do not laugh.
Okay.
What's harder, because I was a gymnast.
Right.
What's harder for me is to make it look scrappy. Because I am trained to land on my feet.
Just belly flop
to
down.
Just belly
Yeah.
flop down. You don't want wrestling to look choreographed.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Thank you, Sam.